Okay, in this second part, what we're doing is finding missing sides. So with the idea about similar figures, we need to find missing sides. It says you can use properties of similar polygons to solve problems. Here we're comparing those two rectangles, and we have to find the missing length. What is the length of HJKL? So in this example, once you compare the length is to the length and the side is to the side, see over here, the length of DEFG is to the length of HJKL. We don't know what that is. As the width of DEFJ is to the width of HJKL. So we set up the proportion 40 is to X as 27 is to 18, and then you can just cross multiply and you find your side length. Now in problem number 5, we can do the same thing. In number 5, they're talking about rectangles also. So what I can do, what I usually do is I use a window. And on my window, I organize my data. And here I can say, well, the rectangle has a width, so rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. So I'm going to write the width and the length. For the rectangle 1, the width is 3.2 and the length is 8. And the similar rectangle 2, it says is 5 centimeters long. So 5 is the length, but we need to find the width, so we don't know what that is. So when we set up the proportion, that would be 3.2 is to 8 as X is to 5. Then you cross multiply, and that would be the extremes. That would be 16 is equals to 8X. When you divide by 8, X is equals to 2. So the width is 2, and this is 2 centimeters. Okay. Now go ahead and try problem number 6, number 7, and number 8, and then we'll check that. Okay, in problem number 6, we have a rectangle CDEF, similar, they're already saying that it's similar, to rectangle GHJK. And the similarity ratio from one rectangle to the next is 1/16. That means that for every 1 unit in the first rectangle, there is 16 units on the second rectangle. They're giving me the DE, which is the first, the second, and the third letter, that's 20. Well, that corresponds to HJ, not HK, so they made a mistake here. So this is supposed to be, what is HJ? Okay, so let me just put here HJ, question mark. So let me set up my window. Let me draw a window. So on my window, I have rectangle 1. I'm going to put R1 and rectangle 2, R2. So from R1 to R2, the values are 1 is to 16 as 20 is to HJ. And then you set up the equation. The equation would be the proportion. 1 is to 16 as 20 is to HJ. And then you cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you multiply your extremes, which is 1 HJ or just HJ, equals, and then the product of the means, which is 20 times 16, and that is 320. Okay. Now, problem number 7. In problem number 7, they're comparing two triangles, triangle ABC that is similar to triangle DEF. So what I'll do is I'm going to let the first triangle, that would be triangle 1, compared to the second triangle, triangle 2. And then they're asking for EF. EF comes from the second triangle. So this is what they want to know. So EF, if you look at the EF, that corresponds, so EF corresponds to BC. So BC is the one that corresponds to EF. Now I'm going to check to see which is the one that corresponds to AB. So AB corresponds with DE. So AB, I'm going to put 2 congruency marks, to DE, 2, not congruency, but similarity marks. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw my window. So on my window, I have 2 triangles, triangle 1, triangle 2. The values are 15 corresponds to EF on the second triangle, and then 12 corresponds to 19.2. Once I organize everything into my window, I can go ahead and bring that out. So the equation would be, the proportion would be 15 is to EF equals 12 is to 19.2. Then I can go ahead and cross multiply. So I multiply my extremes, and 15 times 19.2 is 288, and 12 times EF is just 12 EF. Then when you divide by 12, EF equals 12 into 28 is 2, and the remainder is 4. 12 into 48 is 4. So EF is 24. Okay. Next, problem number 8. Okay, so in problem number 8, we have 2 triangles. They are similar, so they're already saying that they're similar. So this is the length is 12.5. This is the length, which is 18.6. They want to know X, which is the width. That goes with the width. So when I set up my proportion, see, like in something like this, if you want to just get the proportion, go ahead and get the proportion. If I set it up where I'm comparing, and this is rectangle 1 and this is rectangle 2. So from rectangle 1 and rectangle 2, the length and the width, my values are, the length is 12.5 is to X, and the length of the rectangle 2 is 18.6 is to 12. So my proportion is 12.5 is to X as 18.6 is to 12. Then you just cross multiply. 12 times 12.5, and that is 150, and then my means is 18.6x. Then you divide by 18.6, so divided by 18.6, and that gives you 8.06, and that would be the unknown measurement to the nearest tenth. Okay, so that is approximately 8.1. That's to the nearest tenth. Okay, problem number 9. Okay, number 9, we have 2 triangles. The first triangle, let me label it. This is going to be A sub 1, triangle 1, triangle 2. The ratio of the first triangle to the second triangle is 5:2. If MN, first and second letter, it's 42, what is QR, first and second letter? Okay, so let me draw my window. Triangle 1, triangle 2. The measurements that are given, the ratio is 5:2. MN from the first triangle is 42. We don't know what QR is. Then we just bring that out as a proportion. So it's 5 is to 2. It's 42 is to QR. Then we just cross multiply. So that would be 5 QR equals 42 times 2, which is 84. When you divide by 5, so 84 divided by 5, that is 16.8. Okay, now you try number 10. Okay, in number 10, you were supposed to compare See, they're saying that the triangle has side lengths that are 21, 17, and 25. If you put them in order from smallest to biggest, it's going to be 17, 21, and then 25. The second sentence says if the two shortest sides of the triangle have lengths of 48.3 and 39.1. If you put this in an order from smallest to biggest, 39.1 is the smallest, the shortest. So that goes with the 17. And then the medium size would be 48.3, and that corresponds with 21. And what they're asking us is if the two triangles are similar, what is the length of the third side? So what I can do is draw a window. I have two triangles. Triangle 1, this is going to be triangle 1, and this is going to be triangle 2. So if I compare sides, I'm going to compare, okay, the 17 from the first triangle to the 39.1 from the second triangle. And then the longest side in the first triangle is 25, and we don't know what that is on the second triangle. So now the proportion would be 17 is to 39.1 as 25 is to x. And then when you cross multiply, you're going to have 17x equals, that would gives you 977.5. And then you divide that by 17, and that gives you, the answer would be 57.5. That would be the length of the third side, okay? So I hope everybody has a copy of the assignment. You may go and start working on the assignment. Thank you guys for listening.